I'm proud to introduce wellness expert and fitness pro, Autumn Calabrese, and she's a renowned celebrity fitness trainer and body super trainer, a certified Pilates instructor, hormone health coach, certified nutrition specialist, and a best-selling author. I mean, the list goes on. Wow. Hi, Autumn. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on today.
Of course, I'm excited to dig into our conversation today about how you're using community and content to scale your community and build your business, which in our prep call, this is a growing and expanding business, some exciting things ahead. So I definitely want to get into all of that. But yeah, for those who don't know you, you gave me some amazing stats on the call about your community, your streams. I don't know if you call them streams, but like who's watching your videos, who are your members, who are your followers. Tell the class what you told me.
Yeah, we were talking about the body community specifically and the fact that I want to say we have close to almost 2 million subscribers on Body, which our platform is very new. Most people know us from the DVD era. So my programs were out with Body 21 Day Fix for 4 years before we ever even switched to streaming. But within the streaming years that we've had, I think 7 now, I want to say it's over 200 million streams of my workout programs, over 1 million copies of my cookbooks sold. I do those with my brother, who is a chef. I have 18 different fitness programs, 3 different nutrition programs, best-selling personal development book as well. And the last time we had a conversation about it, which was, I think, a little over a year ago, I had asked my CEO out of curiosity, how much have my programs earned the company? And obviously, before you start taking out the money and paying all the people, it just over 2 billion in
I
10 years.
mean, okay. No big deal. That's amazing. That is
Pretty
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
Yes. So tell me about who it is that's following you. Are they like you? Is it the same age demo? Are they going through similar life experiences? It's interesting that, I mean, we know of fitness influencers, but you obviously have great expertise and do so much and share so much about your own life.
Thank you. I feel like I am very blessed that while a very large part of my community is very similar to me. I'm almost 45 years old. I'm a mom. I'm a working mom. I'm an entrepreneur. When I look at my community, I would say the age range is from late 20s through late 50s, early 60s. About 87% women. So the guys get in there too, and they get in on the workouts. I always say, if I can get the guys to try my workouts, I usually have them hooked. They think, oh, she's not going to be that tough. And then they do one and they realize that I can beat you up pretty bad too. They're like my community is a very supportive, vibrant community. It's based around health and wellness, motivation and inspiration. It's not about quick fixes. It's really about being on this lifelong journey to taking care of ourselves.
Right on. And most of the way that you're communicating with this community, is this all Instagram or a majority on Instagram? What platforms are you leveraging? And I'm sure some of it's IRL as well.
Yeah, it's evolved over the years. A lot of it started on Facebook. When I started with the company, when I started with Beachbody 11 years ago, Instagram was not what it is right now. It was very much, share your photos with your friends. That was it. And Facebook was sort of the place that was turning into the business area. So I would run very large groups on Facebook, 20, 25,000 people in at a time, going through my workout and my nutrition programs. And I would be in there every day coaching and guiding. And then as Instagram evolved, that really started to be the main place where I would interact with my community, sharing everything from just, what I'm eating in a day to what my workouts are to what's going on in real life with my son and stress. And even when I have a cold and things like that, because I really try to authentically share
Yeah.
both the good and the bad, because life is not just sunshine and rainbows and flowers every day. There's hard challenges too. And it's about how we stay on this wellness journey, even in those hard moments, because it's easy when life is good, but it's what do we do in those harder moments to stay on it? So the large majority is on Instagram. I've started working with the Mighty Network where I run paid groups over there now, taking people through my programs as well. And I would say those are the two main areas if I'm not doing something in real life with the community.
Amazing. Tell me what the Mighty Group is. I don't know.
It's another platform. It's just another platform where people can host any kind of group really that they want. You
Cool.
can do it as a free group. You could put training on there, education on there, but it's just another place to host community. It has a bunch of different features that are really cool and engaging. I just wrapped up a group with 1,300 women going through my latest program called Belle Vitale for women's hormonal health. So 1,300 women for the last 4.5 months we've been together because we prepped for the program and then we went through the 3-month long program. And it's really fun because I can get in there and I can engage and we can do lives together. I could do pre-recorded. I can award badges as they hit certain goals going through the program. So, you know, check these boxes if you did these things this week. And if they do, they get awarded a badge, which is just a fun little way to keep you motivated.
Yeah.
I get in there and answer questions with them. So it's similar to running a group on Facebook, but I use it as a paid platform.
Makes good sense. Well, all
Yeah.
day today, we've been talking about kind of the end of taboos and everything's becoming very casual in terms of things that were not talked about maybe 5, 10 years ago. Does that impact the conversations that you're having and what your community is demanding in terms of what they want to know from you and hear from you and learn from you and all the things?
It does, but I think I'm going to say something that'll shock some people. I actually think that for all the things that have become not taboo to speak about,
Yeah.
health and weight loss has actually started to become taboo. It's become wrong to say if you want to lose weight. It's almost like, oh, your diet culture. Your diet culture if you're telling somebody they need to lose weight. And I always say, well, hold on. I'm not telling anybody they need to lose weight. If somebody has a goal to lose weight, who am I to tell them that that's wrong? There are people that health wise need to lose weight. And I want to do that in a very supportive way, in a very healthy way, in a non quick fix way. And I don't want somebody to feel shame for having that goal. So I think, like I said, for all that is losing the taboo, we have sort of moved into this. Oh my God, it's funny. Nobody will say anything to you about eating highly processed food and drinking soda and drinking alcohol and all the thing, but all of a sudden you talk about not doing those things
Yeah.
and what is wrong with you? Your life must not be fun and your diet culture. And yeah, it's quite interesting.
It is very interesting. Do you think that the rise of
Oh no,
GLP-1s
we
is
froze.
changing that, or is it maybe changing your business and how you
Jill,
approach?
can you hear me? I'm so sorry. You're frozen.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
You're frozen on my end as well. Can you hear me?
There we go. You're back. You were
Oh,
frozen for a second. I'm so
we're in the
sorry.
money. No, it's okay. I was going to say GLP-1s. Has that changed what you're saying at all? The rise of GLP-1s and that people are losing weight, and it clearly is intentional, or is it maybe changing how you approach your workouts and how you speak about it at all?
I think GLP-1s are a really interesting topic of conversation that, again, people want to make it very bad, very taboo. I am always going to be the person that says to each their own on how they want to go on their wellness journey. I do think that you should be getting that from a doctor and it should be prescribed. And I know some people are probably using it that don't really necessarily need it. So I really hope that they're being careful about that. But there are people that need it, there are people that have been working really hard and they're not making the progress. And this is something that they need. And I'm glad that there is a solution for them. While you use a GLP-1, you absolutely should still be focusing on your fitness because you don't want to lose muscle mass and you don't want to lose bone density. That's really important. You should be focusing on a healthier new habits around nutrition and a new mindset around food because for a lot of people, the reason they are on that GLP-1 is because maybe those habits haven't been the best, or maybe they're not super familiar with what they do need to be doing. So finding a nutrition plan that works well and can support that, I think is great. And also, again, mindset work is really important. So I think these are things that there's nothing wrong if somebody needs that medication. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to be the person that encourages them and says, "Great. I'm glad you have that. Let's add in these other puzzle pieces so that we can round out your health and your wellness."
Yes. Are there certain rules that you have for yourself in terms of your delivery in your videos? I think that we talked about, I did another trainer at one point and I could tell she had told herself, I'm never going to say thin. I'm never going to say skinny. I'm never going to say weight loss. I'm never going to say diet. It was all, and in prior conversations today, I thought it was interesting that somebody said, it's just about feeling good. And that's like almost contagious. Like that's what people want.
Yeah.
What's your take?
Very similar. Like I do avoid the thin, the skinny, because it's about health, and health, you can be healthy at a lot of different sizes. You can also be unhealthy at a
Yeah.
lot of different sizes.
Yeah.
So health is not about a size necessarily. It is about a way of life. And so I try not to make it about being skinny or being thin or diet. Uh, but I also really aim to just give the science, right? To just give the truth. I'm not going to be the person that tells you you can drink all the time and eat all the unhealthy food and look or feel great, because it's just not accurate. So I'm going to be the tough love best friend that comes in and says, "Hey, I love a good glass of wine as much as the next girl, and I love dessert as much as the next person. But there's got to be some moderation and there's got to be some balance around it if we want to feel our best and if you want to look your best." And for me, the look is not the first priority, but it's in there.
Yeah.
That impacts my overall mental health too. If I don't feel good in my own skin, I am not going to put my best foot forward in my work.
Right on. Well, like you said, you've been doing this for a while now. You've seen some evolution in terms of, first of all, going from video to digital and all the things. But what would you say what stands out in your mind as like being the most transformative trend or movement over the last 20 so years? Like, is it about the diet culture shaming of using diet or anything of that nature, or just about the more education out there?
I think we have seen a very big shift to being more about education. Even 10 years ago, when I really got started with Beachbody, it was much more about the physical appearance. It was about like, hey, let's get the six pack abs and let's tone and lift the glutes and things like that. And we've seen an evolution to be a more holistic approach, that our health is not just about the way we look. It's not just fitness. It is fitness. It is nutrition. It is stress management. It is gut health. It is hormonal health. So really taking a full 360 approach to our health and working on the inside, and the outside will be the reflection of that. I think that is what we are seeing a bigger movement towards. I think a lot of people, we're seeing this longevity. I don't want to call it a trend because I hope it's not a trend to focus on longevity and health, but I do think we have seen a shift from just how do I get the six pack to how do I live this long, healthy, vibrant, disease-free life.
Yes. Yes. Tell me, I want to make sure we get the chance to talk about it. And I know you can't share much, but you are also launching another whole entire business. You've got a food line or a grocery line. What's coming up, and what's the driving factor?
Yes, I am working on a grocery line with my brother. Like I mentioned, he is a chef. This has actually been I would say a lifelong dream of ours. We grew up, my dad owned restaurants. We're Italian. My dad owned Italian restaurants. So this has always been something that has been talked about in the family. But over the years, getting to work with my brother on our cookbooks and our cooking show, with being in line with all my nutrition plans. So making healthy food taste really good, affordable, easy for somebody to make at home. You don't have to be a chef. That's the difference between my brother and I. He is definitely the chef, and I am the person who is like, I need this to taste good, and I need it to not take me 2 hours to make. And we've always wanted to put it out in grocery stores. I just want to give that next tool that, hey, here's all these amazing recipes, but for the person who's really busy, like
Yeah.
myself, where at the end of the day, I'm ready to make dinner for myself and my son. And I'm like, oh gosh, I should have started this an hour ago. It's
Yeah.
basically what we're designing is a line of groceries to take the prep out of meal prep, so
Yeah.
that when you get home and you've had a long, busy day, if you're putting the meatloaf in the oven, you know it's made with the best quality ingredients, you know it's going to support your goals, and you know it's going to taste amazing and the family is going to love it.
Oh, another trend today. Like if it makes you feel good, but also it tastes good and also it's convenient. Yes, this all matters. That's important.
Yes.
Do you anticipate just knowing what you know about the power of your own community and your platform in terms of you've worked with brands for a long time and you know your power. I'm sure you see some great data. Do you think that can you rely on your own community in terms of building that brand? Do you anticipate like a big marketing push or working with outside influencers or all of that will be needed?
I see all of it. I mean, my community is absolutely incredible. They're so supportive and they have been for an entire decade. So I definitely see the community that I've already built being a major driving force. This is who I'm doing it for, right? When I keep my finger on the pulse of that community, I'm the one running my social, I'm the one talking to them, I'm the one checking the DMs, and I'm seeing what is being asked for over the years. So I know that there is already a demand for it. But it's also the opportunity to reach so many more people, because people had said, well, why don't you do a meal delivery service? And it was something we talked about. And I said, there's something special and unique when you're in the grocery store that maybe somebody that has not found my fitness programs or my nutrition programs yet can be walking down the aisle, see that, read the label, understand who I am, understand what's in that package. And I've now brought somebody new into my community and I've served somebody new. So while I get to serve the existing, I hopefully get to continue to grow it. So I see all avenues of marketing coming into play, being the community I have, influencers that are out there, and a full marketing campaign for it.
Yes. Well, you have, I would say, a large, I don't know, a large opportunity in front of you. It's a congested space. It's becoming more congested. You
Yes.
talked about you do a lot on your own. I'm sure that you feel the need to get on Instagram every day to kind of maintain that community and remain competitive. Talk a little bit about how you're juggling it all on your own, a lot of it, and how you're continuing to differentiate and make sure that yeah, your community stays loyal.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that I have learned over the years is I really try not to focus on what is everybody else doing. Because when I get caught up in that, I lose sight of me and what my goals are. So for me, it's my goal is always to show up with as much authenticity as I can, to be inspiring. It's about the impact that I want to have. And while having a very large community is amazing, you only get there by making an impact one person at a time.
Yeah.
So I'm showing up and just saying, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how you can do it. That's the biggest thing that I focus on. And it's not always easy, because you can look at other people that are filming amazing videos and the quality is so, it's like movie production, commercial production quality. And I have gotten caught up in that in the past, and actually taken a step back from social, feeling like it doesn't look good enough. It's not good enough to put out there. It's not what people would expect, given that I have all these programs and I've been around for as long as I have been. And then I also have to put myself in check and say, that's not what they're showing up for.
Yes.
They're not showing up for that production value. They're showing up for the knowledge and the authenticity that I'm giving to it. And that's really all I try to do. I show up every day. I do sometimes take the weekends off to just be a little more present with my son, because as we all know, the more connected we are, it's almost like work never turns off. And if you love it as much as I do, it becomes even harder to turn it off. So I really try to make sure I allow some balance there. But yeah, that's really all it is showing up and talking about what is going on and reading those messages, even the hard ones. You've got to see what am I, where can I improve on what I'm doing and what I'm delivering, and go from there.
Yes, I can relate to that. We will disconnect from time to time, so help us. What do you see? Last question. What do you see as the future of wellness? Where is all of this going in the next 10 years? You tell me.
Yeah, it's definitely moving in the direction of more and more connectedness. I have my Aura Ring on now. We see people wearing their Apple Watches. We see devices coming out that, different workout devices that you'll put on your wall and it's looking at your form. And I think there is definitely something to be said for information and feedback and knowledge like that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how connected you are. We still have to do the basics. We still have to move our bodies. That machine is not going to move your body for you. The Oura Ring is not going to move my body for me. We still have to choose the healthy food and put that in our bodies. We still have to, it can tell me I'm stressed out. So I still need to have the stress management techniques on hand. I think for as connected as we are, we're starting to lose a little connection with self. We're waiting for something else to tell us how to feel about our bodies. We know whether or not we've had a good night of sleep. We know where our energy level is and how good we feel and how hard we can push in a workout. So while I love that we are getting so much more information and learning so much more about our bodies, I hope that we can also stay connected to our own intuitive information and pay
Yeah.
attention to the signals that our body is giving us the most. So yeah, I see us moving in that direction, but I still see very much a need for somebody like myself helping decipher and disseminate that information and make it digestible, bite size that you can implement for yourself.
Yes, I love that. And remind everyone to keep it real. Some things are just simple. How do we feel? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Autumn, this was so fun. Thank you for being my guest, our guest today. This was
Yes,
wonderful.
my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.